It's weather for Weather Geeks time. It's Wednesday, the 8th day of March, and what a day it has been across the valley. You know, we were forecasting some peak wind gusts today of 50 miles per hour or so. Well, they certainly outperformed. We'll talk about the gusts in just a second. Wanted to start this evening. When I recorded this at 7:40 this evening, a lot of people still without power. As of 7:40, 5,400 people or so in Trumbull County, and about 2,000, I think, or so in Mahoning County as well. Let me scroll down here at 2,085 in Mahoning County. So there's a lot of people who are in the dark this evening, up to 8,000 or so, just in those two counties. It's a lot worse, of course, off to the north. Now, of course, these are bigger counties that have a lot more people, but Cuyahoga County, where Cleveland is, 48,000 people without power this evening. So this windstorm was pretty memorable, and at the Youngstown Warren Airport today, this was at 5:17 this evening. 70-mile-per-hour wind gust. That is amazing. Now, it's hard to find really good wind records. This is surely the highest wind speed we've seen in a long time, officially at the Youngstown Warren Airport, and it's no surprise. We've seen tons and tons of pictures of trees that have come down, of roof damage, that sort of thing. Jess made a great point this morning, and at midday, it rained quite a bit. Got an inch of rain. That loosened up the soil, and then you get the wind on top of that, and that makes the trees fall a little more easily. So lots and lots of problems with the wind today. Now the gusts continue this evening. The Weather Service did extend the wind advisory for another couple of hours this evening. Here's a look at the hour-by-hour gusts today. As we got into the late morning, that's when things really ramped up, and as we flipped into the afternoon, all of a sudden we're gusting to 45 at noon. We had a 60-mile-per-hour gust at 2 p.m., still getting close to that at 4, and even at the 6 and 7 o'clock hours, we've been gusting over 40 miles per hour at the Youngstown Warren Airport. Now, the process of the wind diminishing has already begun. This observation's about 40 minutes old now. I'll be curious to see what the 8 o'clock observation is, but now that we've lost the sun for the day, the sun helps to mix up the atmosphere, and boy, was the atmosphere mixed up today. You know, a lot of times air parcels rise and fall from down near the ground up to maybe 5,000 feet on a well-mixed sunny day. Today, the mixing level went all the way up to about 8,000 feet. That's really high. And of course, the wind's really strong up there, so it was very easy for some of that wind energy to get pulled down. So the process has begun, and hang in there. The wind will diminish overnight. Here's a look at our futurecast model. Gusting to maybe 30 or so by midnight, maybe even a little lower than that. And it'll be pretty calm, I think, as most people are getting up tomorrow morning, generally under 10 miles per hour for the wind. So it's going to look and feel a lot different. Nice time lapse today from our Youngstown camera. I did want to show you this. We'll switch perspectives here in just a second. But nice deep blue sky today. It was a beautiful looking day. We had some fair weather decorative cumulus clouds, as you can see here, just kind of dotting the landscape. You could see forever today. The visibility was fantastic. But that's the way it looked. It felt, of course, a lot different with the wind. So what a day it was today. All right, let's take a look at the country as a whole this evening and show you our next weather maker. It's out here across the northern Rockies, and it doesn't look like much right now. And it isn't much right now. But as this comes south and east, it's going to start to pick up some moisture, a little bit of strength. It's going to start feeding on a boundary between very warm air down here and advancing colder air up here. It's going to kind of ride along that boundary. And the result is going to be a return of wintry weather in about 24 hours. So here's how things will play out on Thursday. I think it clouds up. Now, you'll notice our model here. I'm not in love with the exact depiction that this run of this model is showing, but I do think that as the precipitation starts, it's not just going to come in as snow. It's going to get up to 47, 48 degrees tomorrow afternoon, and this precipitation could push in just after sunset. It's going to be in the 40s, and I think there at least will be some mixing at first. There might be some wet snowflakes mixing with rain, or it might just rain for a while, but the atmospheric column above our heads will cool enough that we switch over to wet snow as we head into the evening. And certainly it'll become all snow as we go into the night. Now, again, I don't love where this run of the model is placing the precipitation. I think it's too far south in general. I kind of think that it should be more like this, where some of those deeper blues are. See how it plays out, but that's just my opinion at the moment. wherever you want to place the heavier snow Thursday night, it'll taper off to flurries and snow showers on Friday. It's going to be a blustery and cold day. Could be some light additional accumulations midday and afternoon closer to the snow belt on Friday, particularly over in Mercer County, with a northwest wind flow. Elsewhere, not expecting much in the way of additional accumulations once we get past about daybreak or maybe 8, 9 in the morning on Friday. Heading into the weekend on a quiet note, but it's going to be awfully cold for mid-March. Here's a look at some of our major computer models here. The GFS continues to be the odd man out here. It's been like this for a couple of days now. It's been consistent, I'll give it that, but it might be consistently wrong in painting the higher numbers for us. The RPM, the Euro, the NAM model, all are kind of in the same vicinity here, generally an inch or two. Our official forecast looks like this. I'm calling for 1 to 3 as a range across the region. And keep in mind that is a range. It doesn't mean 1. It doesn't mean 3. It means 1 to 3. Some places are going to get the higher end, some places the lower end. I think better chance of getting 4 or 5 will be mostly east of Pittsburgh and across I-80 over towards DuBois and Clearfield. This isn't a huge accumulation, but it's coming at a bad time for Friday morning commuters, certainly. So this will be enough to shovel, and it's going to be a different experience getting rid of this snow as compared to the snow we had at the end of last week, which was very, very fluffy. Couldn't make a snowball with it if you tried. This will be great snowball snow. This is going to be a much wetter snow. So you can make good snowballs with this. It'll be a little harder to shovel, even though it'll be a fairly light accumulation. Be a little bit careful if you're shoveling, because it'll be kind of a gloppy snow. It's going to be falling with temperatures pretty close to freezing a lot of the time, so that usually means some pretty wet snow. All right, as far as the roads go, again, if you're traveling tomorrow evening, the evening rush hour will be just fine, even up through 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow evening, unless the snow's coming down really hard. It's going to have a hard time sticking, particularly on the major roads, even though it's coming after dark. Air temperatures are going to be fairly mild, above freezing in general. The road surfaces are still going to be warm because of the recent warm weather, so it's going to really have to thump in order for it to do much sticking, especially on the major roads, through about midnight. Now, after midnight, it's continuing to cool off. It has a better chance, I think, of sticking on untreated surfaces, and so the roads can be impacted. I think there could be some 2-hour school adjustments Friday morning. That's up to your school district, of course, but this looks like the kind of morning where we could have some of that going on. Your trouble spot Friday is in the morning. I think we're improving quickly midday and afternoon. Now watch I-80, Route 11 heading up into northern Trumbull, 79 heading north in Mercer County. Could still be kind of slick at times Friday afternoon with a few residual snow showers. And then even though it's going to be cold, it'll be fine for traveling over the upcoming weekend. This is cold stuff. This is a look at the wind chills. Teens Friday morning, and by Friday evening, wind chills, lower single digits. It's back to winter here in early March, and that trend is going to continue next week. This is the map I put out earlier on today, showing snow likely. This will be later Monday into Tuesday. I'm not going to get into all the modeling this evening, but modeling is pretty consistent, showing a low-pressure system moving across, perhaps bringing us a modest accumulation of snow Monday evening into Monday night, maybe Tuesday morning. So that's the way it's kind of looking right now. So that's the next thing we'll be keeping a very close eye on in terms of wintry precipitation. It's going to be wintry all weekend with temperatures no higher than the mid-20s Saturday and Sunday, and that's despite that strong March sun. It's going to be fairly ineffective sun. I have a high of 22 in the forecast for Saturday, and the sun's going to be out. That's hard to pull off in March. So this is a cold air mass. Overall, the coldest 7-day forecast I've issued since mid-December. It's been almost 3 months. We're coming up at the tail end of winter here. It's not supposed to be like this, but wouldn't you know it? And I think overall March probably will end up being a colder month than February. Don't get to say that very often either. All right, more updates as I get new model information with regards to the snow later on this evening. Look for those on Facebook and Twitter. I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 11. Thanks for watching.